Hello, people. So last time I haven't uploaded in a while, and to get this out of the way, the video on my main channel, upload schedules. So I think a couple days or like a bit after this video you're watching right now comes out, then I'll have uploaded a video on my main channel explaining why I was gone for like a month or something. But anyway, I'm back now. Don't think that the wait's gonna be this long in between every episode. I'm gonna upload a bunch of episodes now that I'm back. But so RetroStudio had a bunch of updates since the last video, like. So anyway, we're gonna go back into tutorial world, and so I was gonna do this episode was supposed to be this episode was supposed to be how to make like melee weapons like swords, but I decided I'll show that in another episode after this one, so it's not like teaching a kid addition and then quizzing him on long division, if that makes sense. So let's go right into it. So, oh yeah, one more thing. In the comments of the last video, I saw a lot of people just saying like, oh, just go into the toolbox and find this. Why all you have to do is just go into the toolbox and type in blah blah blah, and there you go. That's what you want to make. But like I said in the last video, I'm making these episodes and this series so you can learn how to script properly in RetroStudio. And another reason why not to just take stuff from the toolbox is, like, let's say you want the door. There's the door on the toolbox. This is exactly what I said last time. Let's say you want to change something about the script. You can't, because the script is a reference model. So you could remake the door, and then the script is editable. So that's what I said last time, and that's why it's not just, oh, just take it from the toolbox. But so first, humanoid changing scripts. A kill pad, like a block like this, but when you step on it, you die. We're going right into the action. So let's say, you know those like there might be one in the toolbox here. This. So these things is a block that kills you when you step on it. So if you want to make that, you'd put in the script into your part. This is the part we're using, the red block. Okay. And so I'll call this lava. We're gonna have, so this is the script. There's a lot of new stuff, which is a lot of cool stuff to work with that we're gonna work with. But so when the player steps on this part, we want to make it so you die when you step on this. When the player steps on this part, it's checking for when the player steps on the parent of the script. Okay, and other part, this output, this is a variable that holds what touched the part over here. So we're gonna call this player. Okay, it's a variable. So player is equal to whatever stepped on the script's parent, basically. Okay, so when you step on that, it's gonna find the humanoid in the player. So it's gonna go to player dot, so what's gonna have touched it. Actually, we shouldn't have called this player. We're gonna call this object, because when you step on it, let's say you're the player and you step on this button, the part that touched it isn't the player. The part that touched it is, for example, your left leg or right leg, something like that. So object, and we're gonna find the player is the object's parent. The left leg that stepped on the button is attached to the player, and then in there we're gonna find the humanoid, and then property of the humanoid I think is called health, and we'll set it to 0. It's very simple, but then there's gonna be some errors in the console. I'll explain that, but this should work now. Yep. So these errors are so this works, but so these errors are because it's trying to find, so when my hat, the hat that my avatar was wearing fell onto the button as well, it tried to find the humanoid inside the parent of the hat, but the parent of the hat is the head. So these errors are, it's fine, it's nothing. But so let's get that out of the way. We can use this. We can make another button. I'll just duplicate this, put it over here, and remove the script. We'll just call this just button. We can use these kind of scripts to so we'll have another button. We'll get part touched, and same things. When the script's parent is touched, the thing that touched it will be defined as object. And let's say we want to make a joint breaker. Okay, so yeah, so you want to break the joints for the object that touched it, right? And then now this should, so yeah, it kills me. But if we get I'll show you that this is breaking the joints. What a joint breaker does, in case you didn't know, is just so this guy here, this arm is attached to this torso. This arm is attached to the torso. This head is attached to the torso. These are all joints. When you break the joints, his arms and his head is all gonna fall apart. Everything's just gonna fall apart. If we get like a car, and we drive the car into this, it should demonstrate the joint breaker. Let me control this thing. Yeah, see? As you can see, it's destroying the car. So yeah, that's cool, right? My car is destroyed. So that's what a joint breaker does, and how you could make it. It's really simple with the block coding and stuff, right? I'll make this a different color for organization. Someone asked, so in the last video, so we had this thing where I'm pretty sure it was if you click this, or it puts the decal from that onto this. But as you can see, there was a problem where there would be more than one, and in order to stop that, we should just remove this weight. So the script, when the part is touched, it puts the decal from the other part onto this. It prints done and destroys the thing and destroys this itself, so it doesn't happen again. And it's just instantaneous. Yep. It was simple. How to leaderboards. This video is gonna be edited to be more organized. I'm just going right now. But leaderboards are interesting because you can. So this is also some more stuff that they added in. This is more stuff they added in, like, after the video I made and stuff. But so you can change values of leaderboards through the script. So, okay, let's make a script in our folder we made here. I'll call this initialize or something like that. Yeah. So when the game starts, we're gonna make it. When the game starts, it's gonna create a leader stat called cash money. And when you first spawn, you'll be poor. So now when I spawn, I have this stat on the leaderboard. And we're gonna make this button here give you cash money. We'll put a click detector in it. And so we're gonna make it when the click detector is when it detects a click. So now, by the way, a new thing they added, instead of doing that and stuff, you can also click this. You can also click this and then click the object, and it's gonna automatically show you what you'd want to do. So I'm gonna do that, and we'll call the player. We'll player. So when it's clicked, it's gonna add to your leader stat. It's gonna add to player. It's gonna add to cash money, and it's gonna add 1. And then let me just double check. There we go. When you click this, you get rich. And we can also make it play a cool sound effect. Like, you can do this for like tycoon games, you know. So I have an idea. Here's a cool example you can do with this. It's both entertaining and educational. We're gonna make it so when it does that, we're gonna put a sound. We'll put the sound in here for organization, because that's what we did last episode. So we'll do it here. We'll call the sound Get Rich, and here's a sound ID. Sure. And so we're gonna make it so when you click this, it's gonna play the sound, right? We'll make it. Yeah, we're gonna use this block instead. We'll make it play the sound. Okay. And then it will wait. We'll label this, by the way. I'm using a different, instead of it all going straight down, I'm doing it a different way. We'll say announcing money. Okay, so the sound is announcing the money. Or we'll change it to announced, because we'll know that the sound played successfully, because after it played the sound, it does this, right? So announced money, then it's gonna wait, like, let's say 4. Okay, sure. And it's gonna do 4, and then we're gonna, let's say we let it add like 32 cash money, 32 to your stats, but we don't want it to. We want to make like a cool thing. We don't want it to just add 32. We'll make it add 1, and it's gonna. Oh wait, this is a print block. Oops. We need a wait. We'll make it wait for. Sorry about that. Okay, and we'll make it add 1, and then wait 0.1 seconds, and then actually we'll make it a loop. We'll just make it a loop for now. Yeah, that's actually way better. We'll make it a loop, and it will infinitely start giving you money, right? So it's gonna, when you click a button, it's gonna play the sound. After it plays the sound, it will announce the sound. It's gonna wait 4 seconds after the sound is being played, after the sound has started being played, and then it's gonna infinitely add $1, wait a point a second, and then add $1, wait point a second. And now this should work. If I click this,
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money. Money, money, money.
nice. That's cool, right? That's pretty cool. So that's a cool system you can do. Of course, you can also change things around, right? You could make it subtract. You could go bankrupt. When you press the button, you just go into debt. You could do a lot of things. For example, we could make it so you could use this for your tycoon, for example. Like you could make the button. I'll just quickly whip something up here. Okay, so I made this thingy. So this is a system for this is an example for tycoon games. In the tycoon game, in your tycoon, you have a button that you can step on and get money, for example. This is like an extremely simplified version, but then there's like a delay, and then you can use it again and get more money and then buy an upgraded version, right? So we have this button, and when we go in game, we can step on it. It gives us money. It goes black for a second, and when it's disabled, we can't use it until it's enabled again. So we can't just stand here and just pile up the cash, you know. We need to, you know, keep going and stuff. So in the script for this is all just decorational, but this is the thing. The script for this is the script. When this button is touched, okay, the thing that touched it is the object. It's gonna get it's gonna find what color the button is, okay, and it's gonna call that the color, okay. And if the color is bright green, which means it's enabled, it's gonna give you 1 cash money. It's gonna set the color to be black. It's gonna wait a second and then set it back to be green. You can also make it, you know, play a sound in this process as well, if you please to do so. So yeah, you can do cool things with this. This is how you do Leaderstats stuff. We can also some other things we can do. Some scripts we can make, okay? We can make stuff like move around. We'll make a... Let's make... We'll put a smiley face, a dead guy smiley face on this block. And we'll call this guy Bob. His name is Bob. We'll call him Bobby. Bobby is censored. Okay, we'll just call him Bob. No, Bob is... Okay, censorship system. We'll call this guy Sir Isaac Newton the Third of Blood Gulch. So here we have Sir Isaac Newton the Second. Okay, Sir Isaac Newton the Second of Blood Gulch. And we want him to fly. We want him to fly. There's not that much to it. We want him to fly into the air. We want his stats to be changed so that he just is infinitely moving upwards. He doesn't want to be on this place anymore. They didn't the universe didn't accept him for who he truly wanted to be, Bobby. So now he's leaving. He can't be Bobby. He can't be anyone other than Sir Isaac Newton the Second of Blood Gulch. So we're gonna put the script inside of him. Okay, so this one's gonna be a little. This is gonna be more on the kind of complicated side, or well, I don't know. But so we want it so that when the player touches Sir Isaac Newton II of Blood Gulch, he gets so grossed out by your pathetic Robloxian nature that he leaves the stratosphere. He's done with Roblox. planet. Okay, so we want the part that's being touched is the script's parent, and the thing that touches it doesn't matter. Okay, so we wanna when the player touches Sir Isaac Newton II of Blood Gulch. When the player touches Sir Isaac Newton II of Blood Gulch, the script is gonna find script dot parent. It's gonna find his position. It's gonna find Isaac's position, and it's gonna we're gonna label that as pose. I'm putting an E at the end so that the censorship system on Roblox doesn't think I'm swearing for some reason, because it does that. So now we have his current coordinates. So the pose is gonna be defined. We can, as an example, we'll make it print. We'll make it print pose to the output, so you guys can see what the. That's his coordinates right now. That's X, Y, and Z. We can also it's also right here. Position X, Y, Z. He's at, but it's slightly different there. So he's at X28, Y 3.6, and Z of 81. We can just, I think, move. Yeah, now he's equal. So I'm gonna go back into the script. Okay, so when it does that, we're gonna go to math and split the vector 3. That, like number, comma, number, comma, number. That's a vector 3. Okay. So the vector 3 that it's splitting is pose. Okay, and so it's gonna split that into 3 variables. So the X coordinate is just gonna be called X coordinate. The Y coordinate will be called Y coordinate, and the Z coordinate will be called Z coordinate. And now that it's done that, so now we have every coordinate of his current location. It's gonna add to the Y coordinate. It's gonna add 1 to the Y coordinate. So that means so you should know what the 3D plane and stuff, right? The Y coordinate, when it adds 1, he's gonna move up. He's gonna move upwards by 1 stud or unit. And the result after it does that calculation, the output is gonna be we're gonna call it new Y coordinate. Okay, and so now we have the new Y coordinate, and now we're gonna construct a new vector 3, and so we're gonna construct a new vector 3, which is the three inputs. So this is like, yeah, but we're gonna construct it from the variables we previously stored, which is X coordinate, the Z coordinate, this is a variable, and now, so these are gonna be the same. It's gonna make a new vector 3. The X and Z are gonna be the same as the one it just split previously, but the Y is gonna be new Y coordinate, and this we'll call this new pose. And then it's gonna set his position to the new pose, and this infinitely loops. Well, I forgot. We'll make this infinitely loop, yeah. There you go. So when it's touched, it's gonna make an infinite loop, and so that he doesn't just instantly disintegrate. We're gonna wait a second before it loops, because then he's just gonna move so fast upwards it'll disappear. So now, just so we know what we just did, right? When Sir Isaac Newton II of Blood Gulch is touched by something, anything even, he gets so fed up that infinitely he moves upwards. So he gets so fed up, it gets his current position, it splits it down into 3 variables, the x, y, and z coordinate. It adds 1 to the y coordinate and makes a new variable. Then it makes a new position with his old x and z coordinates, but the new y one that it just added to, and it sets his position to the new position we just created. It waits a second and then does the process again. So now, when we walk up to Sir Isaac Newton II of Blood Gulch, he gets so annoyed that he just decides to leave. He's so upset that he's just done. And he's never coming back. Unless I press this button. So, that's how you can use the Vector 3 stuff to or move a part and around and stuff. You could do cool stuff with that. It's really interesting actually how that stuff works and stuff, right? So now, so you know how previously we made it. We know how these buttons work, right? We can just easily. Let me just, as an example, I'll move this over here. I'll make this button purple, and let's just very simple. We'll make a quick script that makes it so when this button is pressed, when the player steps on the button, it changes color. We could do this by setting the object property of script.parent. We'll set the brick color to a brick color value of this, we could randomize it. Let's just keep it simple for now. I'll show that later. So when we step on this, it will change color. Let's just make it change. Yeah, let's just make it change color to red or pink, hot pink, sure. So now when we step on this guy, it turns pink. It's also gonna turn pink if anything steps on it. If we put a part above it that has gravity, this thing's gonna fall when we start. It's still gonna change the color, as you can see. Let's say we wanted to make it so that when a very specific part touches this object, it changes color. It's only gonna change color if this thing touches it. If the player touches it, if any other part touches it, it's not gonna change color. It's only gonna change color when this box presses on it. Yeah, that's cool, right? So we'll call this box, and we'll just put a number to it so no other part has its same name. We'll make this button check. So the thing that touches it, we'll call it object. And so we'll make it check. It's gonna get the name. So it's gonna get object. This is the thing that touched it, and it's get the property of it called name. And we'll call this name. And so it's gonna get the name. It's gonna check if the variable known as name me is equal to box dash 1237. if that equals box-1337, it changes the color. It's simple, but it's a cool example, and someone wanted to know how to do this. So if we step on this, it's not going to do anything. If we push this box towards it, it changes color. So that's cool. Okay, so how do we make a button that gives you an item and then another button that takes the item away from you? So we're gonna have one button that's gonna give you, let's say, a sword, and then the other button will take the sword from you. We'll make a, let's say, an orange button here, and we'll make a red. Well, let's go yellow. So we'll call this one giver, and we'll call this one robber. Just consistency, we'll call this one gifter. So first we'll make it this one, that when you step on it, it gives you the part, yeah? So when you step on this, it's gonna find what stepped on it, object. It's gonna then, first of all, we'll go to our folder here and we'll put a sword. We'll put actually, let's just put pizza. No pizza, cola. Bloxy cola, the best thing you could ever have in real life. We'll put this and so that the player can't, we'll just it's fine. If you pick this up, you would want to hide this somewhere that the player can't get it. Well, I'll put it in lighting, because then it's inaccessible to the player, right? But it still exists, and the script, everything, it's accessible to the script, but not the player. The player can't pick it up. So when the button is touched, we wanna clone the Bloxy Cola to the objects.parent dot starter pack, I think. Okay, so it's gonna clone the Bloxy Cola to the object.parent. It's just gonna clone it to the player, and that should put it in the player's inventory. Oh wow. But anyway, I now, as you can see, it's it's giving us the colors, right? What the? Okay, it's giving us the colors. We wanted to give it to us only once, right? We'll make the delay system that we had earlier on the, I'll replicate the delay I had on the tycoon thing. Okay, so now I've replicated the thing on the tycoon thing, the delay, in the part of the video where I showed how to make the tycoon like leaderstat giver. I replicated the delay so that you can't just infinitely do it. So now when we go over here, it gives it to us, and it delays. It has a cooldown. So this successfully gives us our our tool. Now we want this button to delete the tool from our inventory. We can, so as a basis, we'll get the same script, okay? But this time, this is it. We'll change the color because it's the color we set the part to and stuff, right? So now this is where the action goes and stuff. So now it's gonna remove the tool from your inventory. It's gonna find Bloxy Cola. It's gonna find Bloxy Cola in the player, and we'll call this cola. And then it's gonna destroy it. It will destroy. Exterminate the cola. No! Roblox. It will. Okay. It will assassinate the pop. Oh, never mind. That sound. If I add one more letter, that's not gonna be a good sentence at all. Anyway. But so now we can go. We get the cola. And if we step on this, normally it's not gonna do anything. But if we hold this and then step on it, it removes the cola. It takes it from us. So we have our tool, and we no longer have our tool. So that's how you can make givers and takers, gifters and robbers. And so, okay. To end this episode off, we did a bunch of stuff in this episode. I'm gonna put this all this into like chapters, like in the YouTube, on like the categories, so that you can just cycle between, because it's a bunch of things in one video. So one more thing, one more advanced, like one more cool thing you could do, which is cool and educational, is I'm gonna show you guys how to make simple morphs. And well, what? So anyway, I'm gonna show you guys how to make morphs. Morphs, you know what morphs are, right? That's like a big part, kinda. It's Roblox. Anyway, so let me just make a thing. I'll do this. I'll do this. I'll go special mesh. This is our morph button. Okay, I will not put a space. So this is our morph button. Let's go. Let's spawn noob. We can go here, characters, right? So first of all, let me. So before we do this, okay. So to know, what we're gonna do is the player's gonna step on a button or click a button, okay, and then it's gonna delete his avatar, so it's gonna go into his avatar, and it's gonna strip his avatar. So all the character meshes, for example, is gonna do that. Or this is the player. It's gonna get rid of your everything, you know. And then after it's stripped the player down, it's gonna apply a new thing to the player. What the? It's gonna apply a new thing to the player. So it's gonna remove everything from the player and then turn him into something. So for example, you'll go from this to this to this. You know, that's how morphs work. Or like they're probably in modern Roblox. They're a lot smoother now, but that's basically kind of how they work. But before we do that, we need to know how we're gonna do that. Like, how is the script gonna find everything inside the player, right? So I'm gonna make this so that instead of when you step on it, I'm gonna make it so when you click on it, because it's just. I'll make it when you step on it. It's kind of different when you click on it, but stepping on the button to activate the morph is usually the default. But so when the button is touched, okay, the player is gonna the thing that touched it is object, and the player is attached to that hypothetically, or the object is attached to the player hypothetically. And first it's gonna go on a wave of removing. It's gonna remove the left leg mesh, the right leg mesh, the left arm mesh. It's gonna remove. Actually, wait. It's gonna remove the object dot parent dot left arm mesh. All this is inside the player, which is the object dot parent. Okay, left arm mesh. That's left arm mesh again. It's gonna remove the right arm mesh. Then it's gonna remove the torso mesh. And let's say you're gonna end up replacing the head as well for your morph. It's gonna remove parent dot head dot mesh. The head mesh is just a mesh inside the head. So we'll connect all these. Okay, and after it does that, we'll print successfully vegetabilized the player. Whatever. Successfully the player. So okay, so right now it's just gonna do that. Okay, we also want to remove the shirt and the pants. So we also want to remove the shirt and the pants. And for the hats are kind of tricky and annoying to remove. So just for now we're just gonna use hat remover script. Just for now. Because they're kind of pretty annoying to like set up and stuff. So now when we step on this, we are nothing but, well, bevels and cubes. A cube. So now we have this. We can also make it remove the face, but we'll just keep this is, you know. And now this is I'll make use of the new comment thing. This is the vegetable mode activate. I'll put an arrow. So this is a comment. So first it's gonna destroy everything in the player, and then it's gonna turn the player into something. So let's say with this morph, we're gonna turn the player into Builder Man. Sure. So we'll put Builder Man here as our mannequin for what you're gonna turn into. I don't know why these are his pants in this. I'm used to him having the shoes and stuff. Anyway, so we have Builder Man. So we're gonna clone. We could do this in consistency. We could go in the same order here. We're gonna clone Builder Man's stuff. So we're gonna clone this to object.parent. This is a lot faster to do because, you know, the update stuff. We are gonna clone this to object.parent. We're gonna clone this to object.parent. We're gonna clone this to object.parent. And this is where the torso is. We're gonna clone this to object.parent as well. We're also gonna clone the head mesh. Well, oh wait, no, the head mesh. It's the exact same. Wait, is this hashtagging? What? Okay, this one hashtagged. By the way, this hashtag stuff, Oh, this hashtag stuff is I'll have to rename this. This hashtag problem that I'm coincidentally facing a lot in this episode is not a RetroStudio problem. This is a Roblox issue, which they in the guidelines sadly can't do anything about. But so the hashtags is not a RetroStudio thing. Okay, anyway, so now it's gonna clone the head mesh, which is the exact same mesh as the one we just deleted from the player, but it's, you know, this is example sake. So we're gonna clone the head mesh from there to this is the player dot head, and then we'll also clone his clothing, right? Shirt. Oh. Shirt and pants. You'll just connect all these. Okay, so I did some cleaning up. It's the exact same thing, except the things the parts it was cloning too. I changed the names because modern Roblox no likey. But so now when we step on this, it's gonna do this. So now all we needed to do is change the color and face and the hat. The face, I'm not well, actually, sure. Okay, so first let me make this remove the face as well, because example sake again, you know. So it's gonna destroy the player's head dot face. Actually, I don't know if capitalization really matters, right? But it should be lowercase on the player as well. And then we're gonna clone, since the hat remover script removed the hats. The problem because we can't just remove the hats this way, because every hat has its own name, different name. So we can't just do remove hat. It's gonna, like, what hat, which one? So we're gonna have to find everything that is defined as a hat, and it's really long, and I'm saving that. I'll just save that for later. I don't wanna make this video any longer, you know. But so it's gonna clone his face to head, and also his hats, because after it removed your hats, it's gonna add his hats. So he has this. That's okay. I'll just call this that, and to this we can also do a print message. And connect these, and we'll make another comment because it's cool, and also organizing and stuff, you know. Okay, so yeah. And now when we go over here, we can walk onto this. Oh, we can walk onto this, and now we are builder man. The head remover is being buggy, so we can add a delay onto it because the reference model. Until I make the thing for the, yeah. And we can also change your skin color. I'll just quickly show you guys the skin color change so that you can turn into this guy completely. You're not just wearing a costume of him. You'll become Builder Man. Be one with the Builder Man. Yes. So we're gonna set your object property of your what's it called? It's okay. So your left arm, because these are just the humanoids parts. So we're gonna change the brick color to a brick color of what's his color? That's okay. So he has different colored things, but since you're not gonna see the never mind. Okay, so his left arm is light orange, so it's that color. So it's this. Yep. So it's gonna change your left arm to be that. Your right arm, his right arm is the same color. It's gonna change your right leg. His right leg is deep blue. So, oops. Because that's his pets and stuff, and you know, Roblox. His left leg is the same. Right? And his torso is bright red. Your torso. Me when torso. Your torso will be changed to be bright red. And head is also light orange, as I expected. Greetings. So then boom, boom. That's pastel orange. And then now we can move this back then here. This is pretty long. It's kind of simple. It's pretty much simple. Like, oh, the head. I messed that up. Let me. It's and now we step on this. Morphs. That's so cool, right? You can make your questionable roleplay games now. So that's how you make morphs. And more episodes, even more episodes coming out soon and stuff. I'm gonna be uploading. Yeah, I'm gonna be uploading again and stuff. And hope you guys enjoyed. And learned something. Yeah. And I'll see you in episode 3. Have a good one. Hey, editor Happy Hamoud here from the future. I forgot to mention, it's kind of give and go, but you want to know anything, like if you want to like the next episode to be like, oh, do this in the next episode, show how to make this, just comment it down below. I read all the comments always, and yeah.